Hello, everyone. Welcome to Roadbreaker Wrestling Podcast. This is Alex. All I have to say is what a weekend for professional wrestling. It was nuts. Over 13 hours of professional wrestling within 2 days. Let's think about that. AEW All in Texas was a spectacle all in itself. Plus the 0 hour, you were there for 8 hours. Plus, we had Saturday night's main event, Goldberg's last match. And then on top of that, the next day, we had Evolution 2. Insane the amount of content we were given, and that's not including any kind of local stuff that you might have going on from the indies, not even including Friday's SmackDown. And then right after that, on this weekend coming up, we have a crazy Slammiversary that is probably going to be TNA's largest North American gate. Thing is up. Everybody wants a piece of it. Could it be too much overload? That's the real question. Wrestling overload. Just on a weekly wrestling basis, we have to think about all the shows that are produced nationally. We have Raw, we have SmackDown, which are the staples. We have Dynamite and Collision, which are the other staples. And then we have Evolve and NXT, and we might have a random Maple Leaf Pro, and then we have TNA Impact as well. And then if you want to watch main event, there's main event, there's Ring of Honor, there's so much wrestling every day. And I can say that, and I'm just speaking for myself, I had a little bit of wrestling fatigue. I didn't even mention, oh my God, how can I forget about it? We also had the Great American Bash. It was so much wrestling. And I get the counter programming, man. Like, it's crazy. Everyone wants to counter program. But a real wrestling fan watches everything. There's AEW fans that call the WWE the Fed and feel like they're going against the system. And then there's people that just don't know what AEW is. I think it's strange because all they know when they think of wrestling, they don't even call it wrestling. They call it WWE. I think we all know someone that calls wrestling WWE. They don't know anything else. They might have known WCW, but I don't think they know anything else outside of that. If you say anything like a GCW, you'll throw them off completely. Like, what is that? Maybe a TNA. But the point of the matter is that I feel like it was truly wrestling overload this past weekend. There was so much content, and try to watch it all. What I could not watch, because obviously you can't watch everything at the same time, but I had my phone. There's pictures of me on my social media. My phone had on WWE while I was watching All In and on the television, and it was just crazy. So much media. Um, it was a wrestling fan's dream and nightmare at the same time. I can definitely say that. But both shows were revolutionary. I truly feel we had Hangman Adam Page, and I'm just doing a glossary. I'm not going to go over every match. I'll save that when there's other people here so we can talk about it. But man, we had so many things going on. Hangman Adam Page, he came out on top. He defeated John Moxley. They're starting to roll the ball for Christian and Adam Copeland to get back together and I guess run the tag team division for a little while. That'll probably be the team that dethrones the Hurt Syndicate. And then I'm just speculating. Half of my predictions for All In were wrong because I definitely had Mercedes going over on Tony. I wanted Tony to win, but just so, hey, give her the power. Tony's over. Athena was a dark horse to me. I knew she was talked about, but they always presented her as she's Ring of Honor, but obviously she's AEW. So more power to her. I'm a big fan of Athena. I always liked what she did in the Indies, in Texas, as Amber Moon in the WWE and NXT, and obviously on Ring of Honor, she's killing it. Just another block. Darby Allen came back. We had a cameo from Bryan Danielson. Still throwing up the yeses, but hey, that sounds like he's going to be getting a cease and desist order again. So hopefully he ceases and desist because we don't want that to. We don't want a lawsuit happening for good old B. Ryan. But I mean, I think it was a good show. Definitely a spectacle, something to watch. Amazing wrestling. But I do have to say that kind of sad about all the injuries that we heard about this weekend. Seth Rollins, if it's a work, then good work. If it's a shoot, brother, speedy recovery. And Adam Cole's speedy recovery, it seems, I see the memes. Was Vince right about Adam Cole? Was Vince right about Keith Lee? Granted, Keith Lee said he can go. He can still get in there. He can still show up and show out. He's ready. They're just not calling him. I think probably Tony's just going to let his contract run out. And hopefully, if he does get back into 110% shape, like he was on the Indies and in NXT, the beginning of his NXT run, which was short, but the beginning, maybe he'll be back in the WWE. Vince liked him. He just wanted him to be healthy. And with Adam Cole, maybe he is a little bit too small to be taking those type of bumps. Granted, it was a head bump, if that's what happened with the missed power bomb on the apron spot, but he's been doing this for a long time. He's not getting any younger. He can't be taking crazy spots like that. Same thing with Kevin Owens. Guys that were on the Indies in Ring of Honor doing crazy things. Their bump card is near the end of its punches, man. But it's definitely sad to see because so charismatic. Good wrestlers, ring psychology, out of this world. It was nuts. But hopefully, their careers aren't over. But speaking of someone's career who is over, let's talk about Bill Goldberg, man. Bill Goldberg versus Gunther, World Heavyweight title match. I'm just going to glossary, not a review. Come on. What was that? I think he had a good match. It sucked what they did in post. It sucked. Post match, they cut him off mid promo. His farewell promo got shut down. I would be upset. Yes. But the comments afterwards, because Goldberg put on probably one of the best matches Goldberg has ever put in his whole life, and he's an older dude, But obviously, him and Gunther, they put on a good match. He had a nice jackhammer, got him over, got him up, got him over. Swit hit the jackhammer. Oh my God, I was impressed by Goldberg's just pure ability to go the spear through the barricade. Oh my God, Goldberg. But maybe it was Gunther as a dance partner that made it a good match. But Goldberg sure as hell put up some effort, man. Like, can't nobody say like that. To be that age, to look phenomenal. I wish I looked like Goldberg now. And Goldberg's a few years older than I am. But what I am going to say is the comments afterwards to think that you deserved something better than what you got. Yes, you deserve something better than them cutting you off mid promo. I completely agree. But man, I don't. Come on, why pay per view? Why? What's wrong with in Georgia, in your hometown, where you don't live there currently, but you raised a lot of people there. You raised your kid there. You grew up there as a man. You played football there. You played college football. Football was your life, and that's where your life was made in Atlanta, Georgia. You beat Hogan in there. Hogan's my guy, right? Goldberg feels like he should have had a better farewell match. And like, they wouldn't have done that to Cena. Well, Cena's doing a thing. Cena was there for 25 years. You weren't there for 25 years. You didn't wrestle that long. You want to say the point that you're a WCW guy? Well, Hogan was a BWF guy, WCW guy. He didn't have anything. He didn't have his last match was a pay-per-view match, but okay. In the WWF, what does it matter? What does it matter? He didn't have a go home match. He didn't have a retirement match. Austin had a retirement match with The Rock on WrestleMania, but it wasn't even announced. Now he had other matches after that, like his match with Kevin Owens, but his real retirement was when he wrestled The Rock. Like, he retired. He wasn't there every week. When he was there, he was a GM and hit a stunner, drunk a beer. No one had a big hurrah end. And whether it was a pay per view or not, bro, you national television. Saturday night's main event has lineage. It has lineage before he was wrestling. Probably when he was in high school. That's when the Saturday night's main event had its first lineage, its first run. And it can't get bigger than that. It's easy. The most accessible way to watch wrestling is Saturday night's main event. Everyone has it. It's on a regular television. You don't need Peacock. You don't need Netflix. You have a television you don't need cable. You don't need anything. You just need a television and an antenna and with a signal, and you watch it. It is the simplest thing to watch in the world. And for him to complain about, hey, I'm not on a big enough stage. Did he want it to be a WrestleMania match? If that's what he was going for, okay. But then who? What do they do with the... He said he didn't want it to be for the world championship. Then it wouldn't have been with Gunther, because Gunther is always that guy. Since he's been on the roster, NXT UK champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Intercontinental Champion. He's a champion. He's getting billed as the champion of the show. And you can't just who do you want to wrestle against? The small guy? Dolph Ziggler's not there anymore. Nick Nemeth is doing his thing on TNA. He's tag team champion with his brother. He's not going. No, doesn't make sense. But I do. But I just hope Goldberg in these 2 weeks, maybe he'll clear it up for all of us, because right now he just seems like kind of a bit an old entitled man compared to the other people that are on a larger scale, bigger than Goldberg when it comes to professional wrestling, and they didn't get the same thing. Like I said, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock isn't a full-time wrestler. He didn't get too much of anything. Triple H didn't really get anything. He just stopped, had put his boots in the middle of the ring in WrestleMania after he had his heart problems. And I would put Goldberg and Undertaker. Undertaker had something. Undertaker had something special, but not everybody's Taker. You can't. Their careers don't touch. I really think that Goldberg would have got what he wanted if he would have went to AEW, because Tony Khan would have treated him probably the same way he treated Sting's final run, undefeated, retire as champion, something like that. WWE isn't the place. And then I just want to touch on the last thing is just Evolution. Evolution was amazing. With Evolution being amazing for the in-ring, the presentation, big ups to Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus right now is probably a better wrestler than she was when she was wrestling every week. Io Sky, probably the best women's wrestler on the planet anywhere. I don't care. Put Io in the ring. Physically, she can go. Rhea Ripley is so over. You can give Rhea Ripley the WWE Championship. If she beats Cena, wouldn't it? People would be like, "Oh, that's good." I think it would probably get Tessa Blanchard TNA heat, but I think people wouldn't get over that really quickly and just be like, "We want Rhea." But I do want to say this, and there's two MVPs. Number one, the MVP of the weekend, period, was Naomi. Naomi's it. Like I said, I want to know if this is her last year. She's not resigning, because I know she wants a family with her and Jimmy. She wants to have a kid. She has a right to want to have a kid. So, hey, this is her swan song. See you later. Whichever one it is, more power to you, sister. You are the woman for the job. We need you as world champion right now. Please don't lose at SummerSlam. I want you to have a nice long run. And I hope they don't give you the Sasha Banks treatment, which is you win the title, but you can't retain it. And I think that's the reason Mercedes has went on her crazy run, or she just has belts on belts on belts. But honestly, I'm so happy that Mercedes is doing what she's doing. She's the women's world champion on Raw. She deserves it so much. I'm so happy that she cashed in. We also got swerved because we all thought she was going to go after Jade. I predicted myself, Jade, SummerSlam, Naomi cashes in after Jade beats Tiffany Stratton. But I think it's time for Jade to beat Tiffany Stratton, by the way. But Tiffany Stratton, she had a good match. She definitely covered up what Trish couldn't do, but there's not too much Trish couldn't do. Thank you, Trish. I would like to say Stephanie Vicker getting her Paris title match with whoever it is. If it's Naomi, I hope it's Naomi, but I just say I hope it's Naomi. And if Stephanie wins there, that's fine. I would hope not, but if Stephanie does win, that's cool. I just don't want Naomi to lose at SummerSlam. 3-week championship, no defenses. Oh my God, that is so horrible. It's garbage. So please don't do that, WWE. But before we get there, I just want to still go back again and say thank you, Naomi. Congratulations. You killed it at Evolution 2. You were the star. Nikki Bella came back. She did her thing, and she had a match the next night. Congratulations to Nikki Bella. All the women did it. I felt like Raw was Evolution extended as well. Bring back Kiana James. Hopefully we see some Kiana James on SmackDown. I would definitely love to see that. And hey, final thing. I do want to touch. NXT always puts on great wrestling matches, but I would like for them, do not, please, WWE, stop counter programming them with NXT, because it makes a lot of people not watch NXT. That AEW is putting on good storylines and having the same type of matches in larger venues, in more creative venues, just like they did on this past week's Dynamite. It looked nice. The presentation was nice. There was no story. There was no really stories. There wasn't like a big, huge thing like happens on the Raw after Mania. But it was just a good show. And that sometimes TNA, NXT gets a little bit too much. But all in all, please stop counter programming. I know you're not, but you should. Please, because we want to watch wrestling. We want to watch it all. We don't want to just watch one. WWE, you are an entertainment company. AEW is a wrestling company. They're not trying to entertain anyone other than the wrestling fan. Um, Just like we got this SummerSlam Jelly Roll, Tonight Show attack, and all this stuff. I think they're trying to make it Hogan, Rodman, DDP, Malone type deal, that kind of energy. I don't know. I'm out of the bubble. I'm out of all bubbles. I'm old. I only know Jelly Roll from wrestling. I only know Logan Paul because of wrestling. So it doesn't really matter to me. And wrestling in prime with Logan Paul and boxing because I'm a boxing fan. But, I don't know. But I know a lot of the children, the young people know who Logan is. But Jelly Roll, I don't know. I don't know how he connects with people. But if someone knows, please let me know so I can understand and have a better understanding of what's going on, because I don't really get the appeal. But I'm not a music guy. I don't know. But what I will say is that it was a heck of a weekend for professional wrestling. NXT, Great American Bash, it was nuts. The All in Texas, it was amazing. Evolution 2, it was amazing. Winners, losers, everybody. Get well soon, Adam Cole. Get well soon, Seth Rollins. If it's real, brother, because if it's fake, if it's a worker make work face, and you go in and you cash in at SummerSlam and you become the world heavyweight champion just to keep the storyline going where you beat CM Punk. Hey, I'm not mad at you. And Triple H, that means you got us. But hey, I'm Alex for Rope Break, a wrestling podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast at, Apple Music. It's all cool. Please like, please comment, subscribe so we can get more stuff and we can talk about wrestling. And remember, if you get tired, don't tap out. You can always make it for a rope break. Bye bye.